little bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to. These is butter, we get gutter, brother. These are Brooklyn shoes. Hit the store, cop them both. I don't gotta choose, and I'm quick to smoke alone, so don't get comfortable.
Oh.
See, I don't gotta gram, I make funny moves. See, I don't gotta gram, I make funny moves. Don't put me in your tweets, nigga. I don't fuck with you.
Ooh.
I'm a boss, you a worker, don't get comfortable. Now he say he gonna do what or who? Let's find out and see. Ripping stages, East Coast, West Coast, shout out to NYC. Don't bother with these bros, don't let these hoes follow me. Honestly, don't give a fuck about who's in front of me. It's coming out, y'all.
Watch out now. Watch out now.
It's coming out, y'all.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Blow podcast. That lovely voice you're hearing is
What'd you call the broadcast?
Ready, Set, Blow podcast, baby.
Yes, and when I first stepped in here, this room was already blown to pieces. Blown to pieces. I don't know what it is about white dudes feel so accomplished when they fart in front of you. And they don't give you no warning.
I copped to it right away, man.
No, they don't give you didn't cop to it, son. I did the sniff. No, I did the sniff test first. You supposed to be like, yo, watch out, give you a warning. But you just let
pre-warn, all right.
Yeah, you just let the vapors in and like nobody's gonna say nothing. And it wasn't certain farts. I know this is so immature, but certain farts you can let them slide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was one of the joints where I was like, I'm calling you out right now.
Oh, it hurts.
Yo,
It hurts.
definitely you, Randy, aka Funk Master Flex. How do I get a fart? Funk Master Flex.
I've been on a vegan kick lately, and it's been killing me.
Oh
son.
my God! Well, say no to kale, son.
Yeah. Like he just was just standing there and didn't say anything.
Leaks, just leaks.
Yeah, that was horrible, son.
Like we were just gonna accept
I mean, it was so bad it made me want to fart, like a counter fart. You know what I'm saying? Like in boxing, you got a counter punch. He farted. I was like, ugh, and I wanted to hit him with another one, but you know, me being a mature person that I am,
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
We see that. We hear that.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, though, man.
Thanks for coming
Who
on,
we got
my man.
Randy here? We
Donnell Rawlings, none other than Ashy Larry himself.
I'm rich, biatch. Story of my life.
Yeah, man.
I'll live with it, though.
We out here in the green room of Laugh Boston. You about to kill it on stage tonight, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's
man.
right. If you guys are hearing this and haven't bought the tickets yet, you already fucked up. It's too late.
So this gonna stream. This gonna go that quick? It's gonna be up that quick?
I could put it up in. I just need an internet connection. I could put it up in 10 minutes after we clean the show up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So appreciate you coming out again, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. We last time we saw you, we was in New York City.
New York City, one of the biggest comedy events of 2017. Dave Chappelle did a 16-day residency at Radio City Music Hall with some of the biggest names in comedy. Seinfeld was there, Kevin Hart was there, Judd Apatow was there, Jeff Ross was there, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, all the Chris's. It didn't mean with Chris's. All the Chris's.
Chris Brown, did he had musical acts. Chris Brown show up?
Chris didn't show up. Chris didn't show up. And myself. It was 6,500 people every night. It was dope. Incredible musical acts performed. And for me to be able to share the stage with some of the biggest names in music and the biggest names in stand-up, I had a blast, man.
I was going to say that must be one of the career highlights of in a long, illustrious career. That's got to be one of the coolest. I've seen that. That room is amazing, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you really don't know how big it is until you turn the lights on.
Right.
Because it's like about 5 tiers. It goes way, way up.
Yeah.
But the best thing, I think I did 11 out of the 16 shows. I got 5 standing O's out of it. But it was one night in particular because Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club was in the house. And he always questions, am I funny or not? And he saw me stand up 6,500 people. So to answer his question, yes.
Yeah.
My brother gets busy, and
Yeah.
now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Yes, sir.
I always enjoy you when you go on that show, The Breakfast Club, because you and Charlamagne going back at it, you know?
And it's so funny, like, that's a really big show, but whenever I go places, people really treat that show as if I just did 3 episodes of Def Comedy Jam. The viewership, so many people watch it.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it definitely gets your name out. And the relationship I have with The Breakfast Club, we joke and play. A lot of people, they're like, yo, how you let The Breakfast Club, you know, why do you always do you like that? Because it's like a family. You know,
it's family.
You
Yeah.
rib each other, you get on each other, you crack jokes. Nothing is never no ill will or anything. And I've been knowing those guys for years, and that's like my extended family.
Right.
And I can almost consider myself the 4th member of the Breakfast Club. I've been on it so many times.
I think you should be on the show. They should probably add you on the show, man.
Well, you did a lot of radio coming up, right?
Yeah, well, radio when I promote my shows, but I've talked to them. We've been talking almost a year about the possibility of me doing some
that'd be
man on the
great.
street stuff because my schedule is really hectic.
Yeah.
But I really like they have a great show, but I think that it's like when you have a championship team, you just don't.
You don't break.
Stay like that. You always try to add pieces. And I think if they added me to the show, it would really, really go out the gate.
Like a little reinvention, add a little.
Yeah. But I respect them. They're doing a good job. Nobody expected that show to be that big, and they came in right at a time when like the whole social media thing was like starting to become really big.
Yeah.
And they got a great internet following, and they good folks. And they're honest.
They've helped a lot of entertainers reinvent their, not reinvent, but kind of, give them a little bit more fresher start again.
Yeah.
They might be the last big radio show that I like that jumps to mind these days in terms of morning shows. I mean, they're hugely syndicated, right? I mean,
Yeah, especially like you don't really get. I mean, for the most part, it's an urban platform, and you don't get like you don't really hear too many big names in radio like that away from like the Steve Harveys, away from like the Tom Joyners, and for them to be like young and fresh, it was definitely something there was a void and they filled it.
They filled it. Yeah, they got great contrast on that show. I have a crush on Angela Lee, man. So.
You got a crush on every girl, son.
Come on, son. I'm trying to over.
Angela Lee got girls having a crush on her.
Oh,
she's good. She's good people. And I seen her go from like she used to work like marketing for like a clothing company years ago, where she would get people's clothes in music videos. And I saw her because I know where she is in her career now. This is not what she expected.
Yeah.
And one thing was dope about her. Every time she had an opportunity, she took advantage of it.
Yeah.
She got an opportunity with over at Sirius with Cypher Sounds, that morning show for years.
Right.
And then Cadillac Jack, a Bostonian, he assembled the Breakfast Club, and her career, she's out the gate now.
She's out the gate now. Yeah.
So your career, man, how did you get started? How long you been in the game? For those who don't know, on
I've
the
been
show,
doing it-
fill them in on the past.
I've been doing it, I'll just say over 20 years. People try to guess your age, and I'm like, that's why I delete all my Facebook friends from high school. You want me to invite me to no family, no class reunions or anything, but I started in D.C. over 20 years ago. Never had intentions of being a comic. I was waiting to be a police officer. And I was nobody believes I was a police officer in the Air Force.
That's right.
So when I got
You
out,
MP?
I was MP.
Oh.
We call it law enforcement specialist in the Air Force. The Air Force always try to sound smarter than everybody else. But I used to be head of security for a grocery chain in D.C. and as like a little after work thing, we would go to open mic comedy shows.
After work.
After work.
Yeah.
I had no intention of doing comedy. I just wanted to go listen to some comedians, and I was a heckler. I mean, I was a professional heckler. I heckled so hard. I started drawing a following. People used to come to the club, and they'd be like, yo, is that asshole dude going to be here today? And I'm like, that would be me. And people started coming to the club to see me heckle. And I was so cocky as a heckler. I told the owner one time, I was like, listen, I've increased your business by 30%. I think it's time for us to sit down and make some type of deal where we all can be happy. He looked at me like, are you crazy, motherfucker?
You haven't done an open mic or nothing?
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't do
You'll
anything.
start paying the customers and shit.
I didn't write no jokes down. I was just an asshole. And I felt if I could create your business, assholes need to get paid too.
Word.
So they thought that was crazy. They said, why don't you try to go on stage? Because normally a heckler is someone that wants to do it but don't have the balls to do it. And normally when you ask a heckler to go on stage, they're like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
But I didn't go then. 2 weeks later, I went on stage. And I was so stupid. Like, it was an open mic. DC open mic scene was really big then. Like, we would have like 20 comics on open mic.
Damn.
And the best on open mics, the best is to go early. I thought I was so good as a heckler. I was like, they kept bumping me down, right?
Oh, they want me to close.
Yeah. I like this, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, man. All right, I'll headline this lineup of like 20 people.
At open mic.
But that's how crazy I was. But in a way, it kind of worked out because I never had that fear of, is the crowd going to be warmed up? Or what are they going to be? And people waited. And the first night I went on stage, I didn't know what the light meant. I didn't know any comedy etiquette or anything. And I went on stage, and every joke that I thought I was going to tell, I drew a blank.
Oh, yeah,
But
of course.
it triggered the natural side. I always tell people, because I mentor comics, whatever jokes you write for your first time you go on stage, you're going to forget that shit. But you're going to find something that's funny about you. So I resorted back to my old tactic. I just started messing with the crowd. And I ripped, and it gave me enough confidence to go to the material. I didn't know what the red light meant. I thought the red light meant get off right now. I didn't know it meant wrapping up or your last joke.
Yeah.
So they gave me the red light. I was like, oh, man. They giving me the red light. And the crowd's like, boo, fuck that. Bring him back. What's his name?
Okay.
Bring him back. And the crowd, they was like, we won Donnell. And over 20 years ago, that's how I started. Never looked back. Never thought about doing anything else in life. And I took advantage of it. I made Def Comedy Jam. I was only doing comedy for 6 months.
Damn, that's what I was going to ask you. When did it take off? Fucking 6 months, huh?
Well, it took up, but it was.
6 months.
I always tell people, man, do the things that other people won't do. And Royale Watkins, he was already a Def Jam alumnus, and I had his business card for one reason, for something, and I wanted to do a show with him. It was Rush Communication. Bob Sumner is the talent coordinator, and I wanted to do a show with Royale. And he's like, well, call my people. I'm like, I'm your people, son. So I had his card. I was like, fuck it. I ain't calling these people for a show. And I said, I want to get an audition. I said, if I call and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm a new comic, they're going to hang the phone up, whatever. So I act like I already knew Bob.
There you go.
So I called, and Chrissy, I remember, Chrissy said, Russ Communications. She was like, Russ Communications, may I help you? I was like, yeah, this is Donnell with Bob. Put him on the phone. I was like, yeah, with Bob. Put him on the phone. She was like, oh, hold on, who is it? I was like, this is Donnell. Listen, is he there? She was like, oh, I'm sorry, Donnell. I'll put you right through, right? She put me through, and I played my story. I was like, I'm a new comic. I work with some of people that you represent. I just want a shot. And he gave me an audition that week, but I had a regular job. I was like, oh, I can't get off work. He was like, you got a job? How you gonna be a comedian and you got a real job? And 2 weeks later, I went on stage. Went on stage. I was at the Peppermint Lounge, just a notorious room. It was one of the hardest rooms ever.
Yeah.
And
I heard that on the
Def Comedy Jam special.
Yeah, that was special.
And you get 7 minutes, and anything can happen in 7 minutes. I went on stage, 5 minutes. I was ripping. Royale Watkins was hosting that day. He came to the side. He said, "Bob loves you. You got the show." And once he said, I said, thank y'all, good night, I'm gone.
Right.
I wasn't taking no chance of
Stay out ahead.
if anything happening wrong, but that was how I started.
I was with Def Comedy Jam, man. It's always like that. It's kind of like it was a great platform for a lot of comedians, black comedians specifically, to showcase their talent. But every time I see the lineups at that time, I'm like, damn, man, like.
Yeah, what
holy! I'm like, wow, like because you had like legends like at forming.
You had legends, and another thing, you had legends, and then you had people that weren't legends. You had people that was like, I would say, pimping the game, because Def Jam, at the time, all you had to do was have a hot 10 minutes. A lot of comics that were on Def Jam, that's all they had.
Okay.
They didn't really care about the craft enough. Like, I want to be able to do a strong 45 minutes, a strong hour. So a lot of people that had that opportunity at Def Jam, they couldn't back it up on the road, and a lot of them, you notice, a lot of them faded.
Right.
You don't hear a lot of people from Def Jam anymore.
Is it kind of like what you see with a lot of the comedians, with the Instagram comedians now? Same kind of parallel?
It's the same thing. Like, okay, you get your 15 minutes of fame, but what are you gonna do after that? Are you gonna work hard to build your skill set? Are you gonna look at this as a craft and not just exploiting it just to be funny? I mean, just to be funny in front of a computer. And that's an argument. Like, I'm doing it's a panel discussion in New York, part of the New York Comedy Festival, and it's talking about that. Comedy, content, evolution of comedy. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's a good thing. Social media is great because I talked about this on the radio show earlier today, is that it gives creative people opportunity to promote themselves without having to be validated by the industry.
I see.
And now, when you build those big followings and big numbers, the industry is coming to look for you.
Right.
But you're going to have to be able to make that translate from being in front of your phone to in front of an audience, to in front of television, and to in front of movies. Yeah. So I encourage everybody, if you're in a good place to be able to get yourself on, but take it serious. You know what I'm saying? And I feel this way because I'm a person that is always trying to be better.
Yeah.
Like every year after 20 years, every year I think I'm getting better. It's not been a year that I haven't felt like, oh, you're getting stronger. Yeah. You're getting stronger. And I don't think it's going to be, it's no end. It's like we should always strive to be the best we can. That's every day.
And for sure. And I think, like you said, I think you said it to me last time we had you out, people don't come back unless you give them a show. You don't want to leave people feeling like they didn't get their money's worth. I mean, I remember sometimes YouTube stars, they might be, like you said, funny on YouTube, right, but are they going to be funny when you had $30 to go see them live?
Right. And it's only fair for you to get good, so you could make that transition from that social media do to someone that people likes to see live. And the only way you get that is by practice. Practice makes perfect. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
People always ask me advice, Donnell, what should I do? I was like, this young comic, he asked me, he said, Donnell, if you had to give a young comic advice, what would it be? I said, don't ask for advice and let the microphone teach you everything you need to know, right?
Okay.
Same comic, I saw him a year later. He said, Donnell, if you had to give a young comic some advice, what advice would you give? I said, first off, you don't listen to advice.
Right.
I just told you
just
what
told
to
you a
do.
year ago
Yeah,
what
I
to do.
just told you, and that's it. There's no way around it. You can someone told me this, but unless you get anything, practice makes perfect.
It does. It
First
does.
time you had sex, you didn't know what the hell you was doing. You was like
And you
this.
get better at that every
Don't
year.
even try it. Like you knew.
Nah, I mean-
First time, I didn't even know. I thought I was in. I was just between her legs. She was like, you want me to put it in? I was like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
But you go back to the drawing board. And you practice. And you work on your porn star stroke. And then you shut the house down.
Right.
That's what you do.
I got
That's what you do to comedy.
I got scared my first time. I put it in, and then I got scared, and I dropped her home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
With it still in?
It was in.
Was it still in?
Because I was.
You moved in with it.
You hanging, son. You hanging.
I got her off AOL Instant Messenger back in the 90s. You know.
Don't even mention AOL. Whenever someone says, "Here's my email," and it's AOL, I was like, "Oh, so you're over 40." You know what I'm saying? Like you just that's just saying I'm middle aged. You say AOL. I remember them CD-ROMs. You know,
Oh, they get them in the
man,
mail
I'm dead.
every fucking week, man.
Yeah, but AOL is dead, son.
He was down earlier. Donnell texted me. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in Copley Square." He said, he spelled it Cooply. I was like, "You mean Copley Square?" And
You know what I was talking about. You don't got to be able to spell nowadays. Just get close
Right.
to it, man.
Yeah,
You're like,
man.
I'm good.
So you're in Boston right now. We have a show later on, 10 o'clock, Lap Boston, Comic Secure, our benefit show that we do every year.
Yes.
When was the last time, aside from last year, when was the last time you've been to Boston?
Last year.
Aside from that, was it before that?
Aside from
When was the last time you performed in Boston before it brought you back?
Oh, that was probably a couple, 3 or 4 years before that. I had a chick I used to date from Brockton. So I used to come up
Brockton
here.
chicks.
Yes, I used to come up here, show her family love, and show that Punani some love. You know what I'm saying?
She probably was Cape Verdean. Probably Cape Verdean. or
Yeah,
something.
she was.
Okay, yeah.
Jason knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was mixed. She was Cape Verde. Good people. There's nothing bad to say about her. Didn't work out, but yeah, I used to spend a lot of time in Boston.
Yeah.
When I was dating her.
Yeah, a lot of comedians. Oh, go ahead, Randy.
No, I was going to ask because we were talking a little about your history. So you right after 6 months, you got it popping. When along the line did you link up with Dave, and how long into your career
I
did the
met
Chappelle Show get going?
Dave was Chappelle was already pretty established when I first started, and like one thing about DC comedians, like we always ask like who's on fire when you ever go home. You want to know who's the hot person, and Dave said this in an interview. He said, every time you come home, people always be like, "Yo, it's this kid named Donnell. It's a kid named Donnell Rawlings," and then I used to hear my comedian friends always talk about. There's this dude, Dave Chappelle, is fire. And I thought I was fire. So I'd be like, what the fuck make him so funny? That, you know. But it was like, in the way people describe him, he was like, he's smart, he's animated, he acts out his characters, he provokes thoughts, and he's just talented actor. So then once I saw him perform, I saw all those qualities. And then we were running each other in the Village. He used to work at the Boston Comedy Club, Comedy Cellar. And then just our relationship of coming from D.C., we built a friendship there, and we've been friends for over 24 years.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you guys like the contrast you guys have between you two is just like it's just.
I love working with him.
Perfect.
The thing about it, I love working with Dave. Dave loved working with me. And when I was doing the show, after the show, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, you fell off after the Chappelle Show." But when you're on a show that's as epic and iconic as Chappelle Show, you're not going to find something that.
Right.
Bodies that.
Yeah.
You just do other projects. And as much as people say what Chappelle Show contributed to me, I contributed to the success of the show.
Absolutely.
On the performance side of it, on the punch up, like it's a lot of things I contribute to the show. A lot of people don't know.
Catchphrase,
And
man.
like,
You catchphrase.
You're the one of the best catchphrases in probably history of comedy.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's times where Dave will do a show while I'm not on the show, I'm there, and I'll just go out at the end of the show. He'll bring me out, and I just like, I'm rich, bitch. And the whole crowd, I think I got the hottest 3-second set in the world of comedy.
Yo.
Like, if you had to do an audition for like, all right, you had an audition for NBC, we need somebody to do 3 seconds. Half the black comics be like this, Give it up for the black women out here. Look, next. Yo, how many of y'all got it? How many of y'all like, you ever get your dick sucked? Like, next, we bring in Donnell Rawlings. I'm rich, bitch. That's it.
Right.
He got the set. And it's just, and you know, it's one of those things I hear people like, Chappelle Show was 12 years ago, whatever, but the show was so dope. The people still act like the show still comes on now.
Hell yeah.
It's the best sketch comedy show.
It lives on social media. Anytime something happens that pop culture, it's always, you're going to find a meme or a gif of Charlie, a gif of me, a gif of Dave, something that just keeps it relevant.
Why? But why do you think it resonates till this day? What's the thing?
Because
what is
everything, it's a certain time when people get bored with a certain thing, they want some change. They want something different. You know what I mean? Like in Living Color, you know, they made an impact. Yeah. You know, I won't say which one was a greater impact in the world of comedy, but it was something that was needed. It was a void. It was a void, and a void that was filled. Like Dave Chappelle Show, people are tired of like being politically correct, having to watch what you say, censored comedy. And Dave had an opportunity at Comedy Central to do something dope. And it was just right time. Comedy Central was a pretty new network. And I think that Dave Chappelle was a person that brought different eyeballs to Comedy Central. A lot of people wasn't checking for Comedy Central like that. Chappelle Show came on, everybody like, what is this show? Where can I check it? And it helped blow Comedy Central up. Comedy Central helped blow Dave and his platform up too.
Yeah, I mean, the show was incredible. I mean, until this day, it's like you can watch it.
I personally think it's the best sketch comedy series.
It's a good time.
In 3 seasons, it did. I think it had a bigger impact than a lot of other shows in the world.
Yeah, when Dave did guest host of SNL.
Oh man.
And it was like we hadn't worked together doing anything close like Chappelle Show. And I remember he was telling me he wanted me to do it with him, but I hadn't heard from him. And we shot that on. They called me the part I did. They called me Tuesday, and I was like, "Hey, sorry, such a short notice down there, but would you be willing to do a sketch with Dave for SNL tomorrow?" I was like, "Let me see my schedule." Hell yeah! I didn't even put no lotion on it just in case they wanted me to bring back Ashy Larry. I was like, we don't got to worry about no makeup or nothing. And we went down there, and me looking at him when he did the Walking Dead sketch, when they flipped the camera, they just on him, and me looking at the monitor, I was like, man, this is what made the show so dope. Yeah. It was just, and he asked me, he was like, man, look at this budget. He was like, what do you think we could have did with a budget like this? I was like, I don't think that this show might not have been as dope because it was something about it being new,
gritty like that. Yeah, man.
There's something about like you knew it was a running gun. Yeah. Like it was like shooting guerrilla style, like, you know, some of the cheesy special effects. It was just something that was like, these guys have a limited budget, but they're making the best of it. So it made it pure.
I think we were just talking outside. We were just saying, you know, simplicity work usually, you know, sometimes being simplistic, you know, work.
Make it simple.
Make it simple.
Clear and concise, and you get your point across.
Man, we out here, Green Room, Laugh Boston, with the man legend, Ashy
You mentioned
Larry.
Charlie Murphy, man. It's sad to see him pass. He was the first comic I saw in Boston at the Comedy Connection a long, long time ago.
I miss him. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. He's a great guy, a great friend, a great dad. And I do a lot, after he passed away, I've done a lot of interviews, and people like, they made the point, like, he was so young, he was 57. But I honestly believe that everybody's not here to live to 90 to 100. You're here to make the best impression you can. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, no matter what people say, Charlie Murphy had a great life. You know what I'm saying? When we're born, when we're born.
The cord. Yeah.
What?
No, you just clicking it.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's good. It's loosened up.
When we're born, when we come to this earth, we have a born day. And then we have a dash. And then we have an expiration. And the most important thing is, what do you do in your dash? Are you living your life to the fullest in that dash? Are you wasting time? Who cares about somebody living to 100 that don't have a passport, never traveled, sat on their porch their whole life drinking sweet tea? Yeah. You know what I mean? Never really experienced life. And I know Charlie lived his dash to the fullest. You know, and it's been situations in my life, and I'm like, what am I going to do with my dash? I'm like, well, I'm about to have this menage a trois. I'm going to throw that up in my dash. What do you mean? I'm like, I do whatever the hell I want to do with my dash.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people, well, I don't know a lot of people, but from what I know is like, every single time that I, like, you know, we'll see you in the opportunities that we do to happen to see you, you have the same energy, man. It's like you always, like, you have the energy, like, you just enjoy life. and you're not with just trying to be cool and like you always have the same energy.
You can't take anything for granted. Sometimes you could feel like you're super accomplished and you're doing this and you don't really know how grateful you are and how much of a blessing it is to create this type of lifestyle until you see that construction worker that's busting his ass for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not knocking that as a job, whatever. When you see people that really out there working their ass off
like labor.
Get a little bit of money. And at the end of the day, they say it's like 3 to 5% of people in the world are doing something they really enjoy. Yeah. I tell jokes for a living. I bring happiness to people. And with that said, I bring happiness to people. And people, when they don't understand the audience, they bring happiness to me. Because as much fulfillment they get out of me telling jokes, I feel fulfilled because they make me feel good knowing that I'm doing something that's gonna make them feel good.
Hell yeah. When I met Randy, we met a few years ago, and then when we came together and was like, hey, we want to produce comedy shows together. We sat down. We was thinking like, okay, who are the comics that first we like?
Yeah.
That we enjoy their comedy first. You know what I mean? And secondly, I think you could add like
yeah, for sure. I mean, that was the very first time. I remember we were sitting at the underground at Sam J. Shout out to Sam J. She's a comedian. Actually, she's back in New York now, working for SNL. But she introduced me to Chase, and we were talking about comics that we like and haven't seen in a while. Your name came right up, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been doing this charity show. I want to get it big." I was like, "Well, why don't we fuck it? Let's try and reach out to Donnell." So we just got it popping, man.
And I had fun last year. I had fun. It was about a year. It was like a year ago, right?
Yeah, man, a year ago.
I had a good time. I love what I do, and it's not too many people that can say they ever seen me bomb. And not that I'm that great, but it's just like, I just don't bomb.
It's been a while? It's been a while?
I mean, like...
I'm sure it has to happen.
No, it's happened, but it's like for me, it's been certain. It's not because I've been whacked. It might have been a situation like I started in gritty, grimy clubs.
Yeah.
I started in clubs where as soon as you go on stage, make me laugh, motherfucker. You ain't funny. Yeah. Like I came up in crowds where
they just smack you if you ain't funny.
Yeah, like I came out and did shows with motherfuckers flash guns and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's certain circumstances can help you bomb, but straight up like I can't. Like, just being whacked, that's just a hard one, man. That's just a hard one. Just like bombing, just straight up bomb because you're not funny. Ugh.
Oh, that shit must hurt.
I mean, I've took some hits. But I've learned I think the worst thing to do is if you keep bombing the same way, it's like, what are you teaching yourself?
Exactly. How are you improving your act? You can't keep bombing the same old fucking way.
Yep.
When was the last time, this is a great question. What was the worst bombing you took? You don't have to tell me when it was, but.
I think the worst hit I took, it was when I first started. This gay guy was heckling me, and I did what anybody did. I pointed out his sexuality, thought that people were gonna ride with me.
Yep.
I said, "Whatever, you gay," and I guess he dealt with that so much. He was like, "I'm more man than you'll ever be, and more woman than you'll ever get." And he said, "Don't make me read you." And after that, it was like, night, everybody. It was over. I had no more jokes after that. And then I was in the streets of D.C. maybe 2 years later.
Shit.
And this dude came, obviously gay. And he was like, "You remember me?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you tried to ruin my career before it started." But that was probably the worst, one of the worst hits I ever took. But it happens, but it just can't keep happening.
Yeah,
we were talking
about this a little bit. We were talking about this a little bit today after the radio show, but the concept of too soon. I was actually just reading an article about it on the way over here, where a quote from Margaret Cho talking about James Corden's jokes about Harvey Weinstein, saying it's too soon, and she is of the belief that there is such a thing as too soon, and that somebody who hasn't directly experienced something shouldn't be talking about it. But where do you draw the line with that too soon bullshit?
Like I'll say, it might be too soon for a joke, and I've said this in my show, but I don't think it's ever too soon for observation. As a comedic mind, anything in life you think funny first, whether it's death, whether it's celebrating something, sadness, sorrow, or whatever. Your brain is a program. Your brain program is what's funny about this. Sometimes it's hard to find funny in a situation, but I think that for almost anything that happens, there is something funny. And, you know, like, I don't believe in too soon. I believe in too late. Because the minute you say too soon, a week later, every comedian, everybody's stepping on that. So, you know, and again, it's how much balls, and it's how you present it. I can talk about almost anything and present it in a way where it may make you uneasy, but at the end of the day, it's funny. And anytime normally we hear too soon, it's like, too soon. But that shit was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's personally where you draw the line.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
you
there
gotta be
anything
sensitive.
Is there anything you won't, any topic you won't step on or you won't talk about?
I mean, I don't think it's a topic that I won't talk about. It's certain people that I won't mess with. I've had friends that have been in the news for some not so great things that I won't join the bandwagon and follow it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't believe in kicking somebody when they's down.
Yeah. No piling on.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna pile on. And I never go at people in a malicious, trying to like really hurt your feelings and attack your character unless you attack me. If you come at me, then I'm gonna try to annihilate you.
I can't even imagine. Right? We're gonna fuck with a professional comedian.
They always try to seem. It's weird how people. It's weird no matter at what level you are in your life. It seems like there's always people that just want to like just test you. Like, they think they can test you.
And then heckling me, and I'll just a warning to anybody: don't fuck with me.
Right.
Because when I go in on you, there's gonna be two things: you're gonna want to buy me a drink, or you're gonna start a fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't, because I've seen too many situations, and when I come at you, I'm coming to the story. I'm not trying to be cool. I want to hurt your feelings. I want to hurt everybody in your family's feelings. I want to make you pay. Especially at this point in my career, like, to heckle me at this point, it's one thing when you go to comedy nights, where it's not like I'm paying good money to see somebody. You kind of expect that, but when you're paying to see somebody, who wants to go to a comedy club and hear somebody heckle for the entire show? They came to hear the comedian perform.
They came in to escape.
Yep.
They want to,
And I'm always curious about that too with people who get upset. It's like, you don't have to be at the comedy club. Like,
Right.
like if you don't like what he's saying, you can get up and leave, you know?
Yeah, but a lot of those people the ones that protest and offend about everything, they're waiting for you to hit the trigger words for them to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's a comedy club. It's not a place where your thoughts are supposed to run parallel with the comedians. It's you're going to hear what somebody else's point of view is of life.
That's right.
So you can't be judgmental of that. And at the end of the day, this shit it's jokes, man.
Right.
You know, I'm not a role model. I ain't trying to be a role model. If I was a role model, I would take that job. I would work Monday through Thursday. Because I'm not going to be a role model Friday and Saturday. You know what I'm saying? If there's a part-time position for a role model, I'll take that. Monday through Friday, he's good as shit. Oh, Mr. Rawlings, what happened this Saturday?
I'm sure as comedy was going, accelerating for you, you were like, man, a day job is not really what I want. This is like,
I mean, you got out from under pretty quick, thankfully.
Yeah, from the first time I touched stage, I knew I wasn't going to ever work a day job. and it wasn't super successful. Like, I've only been successful in this probably like the last 7 or 8 years, and that's over a 20-year period. And I always tell people,
really?
I tell people, man, if you the number one thing you have to learn in this business, learn if you can be happy being broke, you'll be good.
Word.
Because it's not nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it takes a while. People see you being successful at a certain point in your career, and they're like, it's not just happened yesterday. Like Prince said, sometimes it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And you can't let it drive you crazy. You got to run your course. I've heard people like, man, you're funny and so-and-so. Why you ain't this? Because it's not my time to be there. You know, you can't rush it. It's going to happen when it happens.
You can't rush it.
Whole thing, the best thing is enjoy the ride. And I'm enjoying the ride.
Oh, yeah, enjoying the journey. I mean, we had jobs, like professional jobs, and we made a decision to say we're not going to do this anymore.
I need a job that I have my nights free.
And I don't even knock. You know, everybody has their own path, but I show this path. I'm enjoying it. It's been good, the bad, and the ugly. Sure. But I can continue to see some growth, and I can continue to realize that I can always learn something, and always get better.
Yeah, man. Man, this is
for sure.
This is awesome, man. So, guys, if you're out there, Ready Set Both podcast listeners, Boston, Ashy Larry, Donnell Rawlings is here, 10 p.m. Comics to Cure. Get tickets. There are still some available. Randy.
You got a son now, right, brother?
I have a son.
I know, I have a son. By the way, that was the funniest shit. So my girlfriend gave me shit about saying son all the time. And I was like, wait till you hit a night, girl. The three of us play.
It's gonna be like quadruple
it's a
son.
son battle.
Well, Randy's more justified in saying because he's from New York.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm from Boston. I just get it based off like the energy. So
I mean, when I was on Chappelle Show, they didn't even write dialogue for me. They would just put son and just let me go for it. But now it's so funny because when I told people I had a son, they was like, "What?" I was like, "Son." They was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I got a son." "Oh, you got a son." Yeah, I got a son. He's 2 years old. Austin, Donnell Rawlings, the best production I've ever done, and enjoying every minute of it. Enjoying it, being a dad later in life, but there's no time. I don't think there's no time for you. You can't say a person can't be a good dad at a certain point in their life, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. He motivates me, he inspires me, and he makes me go even harder. Yep.
do you see yourself having another one?
I want to.
Yeah.
My lady keep talking about it hurts. I'm like, it ain't like you felt labor pains for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Right. I would love to have another kid, but I just feel blessed that I got a beautiful kid now, and
Healthy.
I'm just beautiful, healthy, lovable kid. And you know what? I have a couple of friends that have kids that are physically challenged. And one of them tell me, it's like an irritating thing when someone says, "Yeah, I'm so happy to I have a beautiful, healthy baby." Sometimes that's not going to be the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? And you still have to be happy about you creating life. You know, one of my friends, close friend of mine, he has a son that have health issues. And I said to him once, I was like, yo, man, it's got to be, I said, it's tough being a dad, but it's probably even tougher with those circumstances. He was like, Donnell, don't even go there. He said, don't even go there, D. He said, listen, man, I've heard people say, he said, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. He said, what would you do? You got to man up. You know what I mean? So that's it. You know, I understand what you're saying, beautiful, healthy baby, but you man, any children we bring in this world, it's important to be the best parent, and me speaking for myself, best parent, best dad you can be, whatever challenge you have and whatever circumstances.
Right. Yeah, that's...
There's a couple more topics I wanted to touch on real quick. First of all, wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on in Hollywood these days. Everybody's throwing accusations around. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein's all up in the news.
Everybody's throwing accusations in situations. You know, it's troubling if a lot of these accusations are true. But it's also interesting because Hollywood is a bed of evilness.
Seems like it.
And like these allegations, I mean, I don't put anything past anybody, but I just hope that the fuck can you say, man? Crazy shit happens in Hollywood, man. It's a tough business. I'm not making no excuse for anybody, but it's just one of those situations that, and the things that happened with Harvey Weinstein, this is not just in Hollywood. This is in any situation when men have money and power. And a lot of times men abuse their money and power, and you have people doing heinous shit. I would say women out there, protect yourself, be smart, and don't fall for
the bullshit.
The bullshit.
Yeah, I saw that to Chase off Mike a few days ago. I was like, man, this is really fucked up with Harvey Weinstein and everything. But it's like, what about all these women in regular jobs where the guy has power, or and maybe they're undocumented workers and they really their boss can really fuck them up.
Yeah, I mean, one
scary,
thing about this Harvey Weinstein, it blew the lid off in every jobs, and so people are looking at it like, is this really happening? It is, and until women have to come out, women have to say something, and that's one of the only things that's going to slow a man's roll down when he starts looking at the consequences of his actions. Men have to deal with and know what the consequence of their actions is going to be. That's the only thing that's going to affect change.
Yeah. I guess it's important to kind of, if you can find where your moral compass is in this business, and if you know who you are, I think it helps you longer in the long run, But sometimes people find themselves later on too, like comics like Seinfeld, I refer to Seinfeld quotes because he has some some smart quotes, and this always resonates with me, in terms with actors and stand-up comedians. He's like, actors, they study to be other people. Stand-up comics, they study to be themselves.
True. And the more of yourself you can be, the more original you are. Those are good comics. Some of them still study to be somebody else. The ones that still style, still flow, still beats, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, jokes and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just one of those topics I feel like touching. We got a big female listenership, and we don't talk about that much. We talk about women a lot, but we didn't talk much about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for so many ways. Like, I know Harvey Weinstein make the argument that a lot of those women were down with it. A lot of women took took advantage of me being in a powerful position, and some of them that wasn't the case.
The role is reversed.
I mean, you can go either way. Like the unfortunate thing about it, if you have women making these accusations, it's not true. Like character assassination, it's horrible, because you can't really get that back.
Yeah.
And people make the argument, but it's so many women, and that's true. But then there's going to be cases of women that aren't telling the truth about this. How's a man feel about that? What are they subject to? Okay, oh yeah, I was just mad at him, so I said I'd say that. Whatever.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at both sides.
You gotta look at both
And
sides,
certainly,
definitely.
and it's a little bit of the boy who cried wolf, right? I mean, for every false accusation, there's a woman out there who has a real problem, and they don't believe her because of so many false accusations. You don't want to get down that road.
You don't want to slight that, so it's like, yeah, right. Like you said, boy who cried wolf.
Let's go to what, no, go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask, get off that upsetting topic and ask what's next for you, man. What moves are you making next?
Well, I'm currently doing, I'm gigging almost every weekend, prepping myself to do my next hour special. I've talked with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is really serious about producing my next special.
There you go.
And I'm just, I'm just getting it where I can fit in. I haven't done a lot of acting work, but, I get my money in the road. So as long as I got some income coming in, I'm good. But, with my new son and me, not wanting to be a road rat as much, I'm starting to focus more on film and television, because I want to be able to be home and be around him more and watch him grow up. So I tell people always, pay your cable bill. You're going to see me on some television. If it's not HBO, it's not Showtime, you're guaranteed to see me on TMZ.
They love you, son. They always get you for a quote.
Yeah. Word to the wise, don't get drunk and do a TMZ interview. It never works out well, man.
The last time we had you on was right after your little skiff out in,
I got episodes.
in Philly.
I got episodes in TMZ. Your mom, like.
Yeah, that's right. You remember that last year? So Donnell had a little spat outside of somewhere in Philly, and he was literally the night before he showed up to come to our benefit show. And my mom texted me that morning. She's like, "Hey, is he gonna make it?" I saw this, hilarious. and I told Donnell, I was like, "Your mom knew who I am?" I was like, "Yeah, she was in the audience." Like, "Oh shit, man! You should have told me. I'd have, really amped it up." I was like, "Donnell, you just fucking killed for an hour and a half. What are you talking about?" I was like, "How much better are you gonna do for my mother?"
No, you like your mama. Oh, I got one. Yeah. I gotta show off now. No, that was a good time. Yeah, that was a good time.
That's dope, man. This has been great, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
This has been great.
I wish y'all more success, man. Y'all professional, man. Y'all consistent, man. And y'all doing everything to create the platforms. I just recently did This Is 50, and we did a prank where I was in an SUV. I didn't know he was going to be the driver. I was in an SUV. I didn't know he was going to be the driver. And he said, "What can I do to help comedy?" I said, "Do what you're doing. Continue to create a platform and give people outlets to showcase their stuff. You guys are doing a good job. Much success. And I'm ready to rock for you guys tonight."
All right, man. We love you, man. We appreciate you coming out as
Thank you,
always.
bro.
Donnell Rawlings,
bless to you and your family. And
Word,
we're gonna
son,
kill it
all
tonight.
day, son. Shout out to my son.
Weeks, we got the #1 record in the street, in the clubs, at the radio, #1 artist in the street, in the club, at radio. Matter of fact, this record is
We out here. Right there? Oh, yeah. For all you bitches that got a problem with niggas that's ashy and shit, just remember, niggas go from ashy to classy. OG ashy. Act like you know me now, or love me later, bitch. Lotion light. Bout that. Hashtag me be like, I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. Yo, turn my shit up, son. I got it for the Lolo. It's already up. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I got it for the Lolo. I'm I'm in love with the lotion. Naiva. Hit my nigga for that cocoa. Hit my feet and my elbows. Don't miss a spot, that's a no-no. Tough areas, nigga. Always happy with my cocoa. Swimming pools. If I'm ashy, I go loco. Cold weather. Bitches love me with my cocoa. Nigga funny with that ill flow. I know nothing but those elbows. Lotion life. Cocoa butter, I got cocoa butter. Ash be like cocoa butter, I got cocoa butter. Moisturize, nigga. I'm using lotion fast, nigga. I'm getting rid of ash, nigga. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I got it for the Lolo. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I got it for the Lolo. 99 cents store. I'm in love with the lotion. Naiva. Half a bottle on them knees, yo. Squirt, squirt. Need a lot for them elbows. No Vaseline like Neo. Ashy nigga. Fuck the judge, fuck my PO. Fuck you. Tried to jail me for my elbows. We out here. Women love to rub my feet, yo. Hit the heel, hit the big toe. Get it right there, bitch. No more ash for me, yo. You missed the spot. Cocoa butter, I got cocoa butter. Lotion. Cocoa butter, I got cocoa butter. I'm using lotion fast, nigga. Eczema. I'm getting rid of ash, nigga. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. I got it for the Lolo. Fuck dry skin. I'm in love with the lotion. We out here. I'm in love with the lotion. I'm in love with the lotion. What? I got it for the Lolo. What? I'm in love with the lotion. Naiva. Hola, Alcaína. Nigga, we got a hit, son. Fuck these bitches. Let's get this lotion. Lotion.